Welcome to the RadioU podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, how McDonald's is having a terrible Christmas.
Also, how many minutes does it take Joe Jonas to parallel park a car?
All that and more on the way next. Another company is getting brutally roasted for putting out an all AI Christmas ad. 8772 RadioU. Let us know. We can send it to you if you want to see this monstrosity from McDonald's. This has gotten so bad. They've turned off the comments. You can still see this online, but I think like the original place they had posted it is also taking it down because it was just getting so much hate. This AI generated ad for McDonald's. Allie, I'm sure you've watched it. It's like a video of it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
But they've changed it so it's the most terrible time of the year. And it's a bunch of things going wrong that are like basically like mayhem.
Yeah.
But for the holidays, and then it ends by going, so hide out in McDonald's until January's here.
Oh my goodness.
And that is the McDonald's Christmas ad that's generated entirely by AI. I even like the quote that was put out by the studio that did it. They said they've hardly slept for weeks while writing AI prompts and refining the shots. They go, AI didn't make this ad. We did.
Sure. You went and shot these these shots and hired actors and directors and producers and makeup artists and all. Yeah, sure. You made this.
You hardly slept, and this is what you gave us?
Yeah.
This is the best you could do? You spent weeks refining the shots and writing AI prompts, and this is what you popped out?
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what you did. If that's what you did, if you spent that amount of time on this, that's a disgrace.
You spent too much time. Here's the thing. You spent too much time refining the shots, and nobody took any time to think, should we make a whole Christmas ad about how horrible Christmas is?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Who signed off on that? AI told you that was a good idea?
Right. Who
People
gave you
like
this prompt?
the holidays.
Right.
I know that, they come with their issues, but I don't think that's a good ad campaign.
It's not. And also, have you been in a McDonald's lately? The last thing they are is cozy and homey. They've made them all beige and boring.
And they're cold inside. Sometimes it's colder inside a McDonald's than it is outside.
Exactly.
How about a fireplace McDonald's?
Try something to make it more homey and cozy feeling. I know we've talked a lot about maybe bring some of the color back.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some of the fun little seating things back that you used to have.
And where's my play place?
Right.
I want the playland back.
I think.
How am I supposed to play?
I doubt that many of them have the on location the space for a play place, but they all used to have. They all used to have the fun seating.
Mm-hmm.
They all used to have the fun piano table. Why'd you take the piano table away?
Maybe AI told them to redesign the interiors as well. Maybe we should blame AI for everything.
I think the interiors were redesigned way before AI, but either way. This is not exactly, it doesn't make sense because, as you said, people love Christmas, and McDonald's doesn't feel homey anymore. It doesn't feel Christmassy anymore if you go in there.
Yeah.
Why would you want to hide out in McDonald's? The only reason you hide out in McDonald's is because you're a fugitive on the run trying to get away.
I just don't, like, every other, maybe that you want to stand out, but every other ad at the holidays is like you're trying to build up the feelings of like, oh, you know all those things you love about Christmas? You can find them at McDonald's. How about that instead of your whole Christmas is terrible.
Right.
This entire month is a waste. The only thing to do is eat a Big Mac.
Right. That's the only thing to solve it.
They probably saved a lot of money doing it this way versus if they had to get people to do all these stunts that are in this commercial in just a short 45-second span. But that would have been even more of a waste of money because it was a bad idea from the jump.
Yep.
What do you think about this, though? This is an interesting comment on Twitter where I don't even know how to say this. But she says, when a corporation makes an AI ad to sell hamburgers, releases PR spin about how hard it was to make an AI ad about hamburgers, then turns off the comments of their AI ad for hamburgers, it becomes very clear it was never about selling hamburgers. This is an ad for AI. And it's a bad one, but they also go on to say that basically they're just trying to normalize it until we all just get tired of complaining and It's
Well,
just,
that's why the Coca-Cola company is coming out with a new AI ad every year. They're trying to
and they
make
play
it
that
normal.
on the real TV.
Right?
Yeah, it's normal now.
I don't like that.
Like it or not. Yesterday was a historic day in the country of Australia where their social media ban for teenagers took effect. Starting yesterday, 10 major, what we would consider social media platforms, had to deactivate accounts of users under the age of 16, and they're not supposed to let those users back on
Yeah.
until they're 16. So this includes TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. This I thought was crazy. YouTube.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have a YouTube account. That, for some reason, is included
Right.
in this, which I thought was a little harsh.
Yeah, that seems
on
a
the
bit
15-year-olds.
much. Yeah.
But it was interesting reading through. Obviously, I think most of us, anybody over the age of 16, you can agree that it seems that social media not great for the younger you are.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for us to go, as older people, to go, well, yeah, this is a great idea. But what about those 15-year-olds, those 14-year-olds that are being kicked off of YouTube and TikTok? How are they handling it? And so apparently a lot of them are, they're having a real tough time with it. They've been circulating like other sites that you can use, because not every site.
Yeah.
And they can't ban every single site, right?
You would think.
And so there's a list of where they are trying to congregate. And this is the thing, you just can't.
Yeah, you're
never going to completely
them,
shut this down.
Yeah, you're just going to force them to go somewhere else. But you would think that you'd be sending them somewhere else where it is probably less toxic for them to be, maybe less usable. But either way, yeah, this is a tough situation because on the one hand, I agree that social media, not great for kids. But on the other hand, as an American, anytime I hear the word ban, my alarm bells start going off in my head. And I'm like, freedom, freedom, freedom. And I don't think just because you're under the age of 18 that we should entirely limit the freedom that you have. But we do need to have protection for kids. And it seems that parents are just, some are willing to do those things and some are not. And so where the parents have fallen short, I guess the government has decided to step in, which I also don't perfectly really like, but that seems to be what's happening here.
It's I was thinking about this a lot, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can say all parents should, why aren't parents paying attention, or why would they let their kids do this? But why do we have alcohol banned for people under 21 or cigarettes for under 18? Because as much as there's some things that parents can do to make sure kids don't partake in things they're not supposed to, but parents can't send you to jail. And when you're there's the control that parents have over their individual child. But then especially when it comes to social media, if there's another parent that thinks differently, and then that kid's on social media, and then you're the left out kid, then that makes it harder on the parents too
to say no.
And so when it's the companies that are actually putting the stuff out there that are the ones that have to control it, it feels like that makes it more. I understand why that's the process you have to go through.
Yeah, me too. Because these companies clearly don't care about our mental health.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The government has to force them to care.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, all they see, it's again the same thing with alcohol.
Signs.
Alcohol. You think Budweiser would love to sell to 16-year-olds? They don't care. They can make money off of it.
Right.
But the government tells them hey, there's some place you can't make money. And that's the same thing that I feel like is happening here.
Right. And the same thing as you pointed out with, alcohol, you pointed out earlier where these kids are finding loop arounds. Just because we have these laws.
It's never going to be completely.
Yeah. It doesn't stop underage drinking from happening. They do it, but it's just you shouldn't. So, yeah, it's an imperfect solution, but I think we're working our way to a point where we believe that it is socially acceptable to keep kids off of social media. To ban them, literally, to say, we cannot have you on social media. It is not safe for you. Just wait a little bit and then join later.
Yeah.
And it's still not safe for us adults.
And then maybe by the time you're 16 or whatever, maybe you're like, man, I didn't actually need it that much. If you don't get started young, it loses some of its draw for a lot of these things too.
That's kind of what I was hoping. Also, quick note on this. I follow a Australian skateboarder named Chloe Cavell. She is under the age of 16. I went and checked to see if her Instagram had been deactivated because I love her. It is not. So that's, I guess, a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because she has so many followers.
Yeah. Or an adult runs her account.
Potentially.
Or she's not actually based in Australia, even though she
she's
is from Australia. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, maybe it's only a matter of time. A 2023 viral trend is circling back around. 8772 Radio U. In 2023, when Five Nights at Freddy's came out, it became a thing to try to steal the cardboard cutouts at movie theaters of the Five Nights at Freddy's characters.
I did not know this.
I didn't really remember that either, but apparently it's back because Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is out now, and so more and more people have been filmed trying to steal, yet again, these cardboard cutouts from movie theaters. And at first, I was like, how are they going to get away with that? Well, mostly they aren't. Because a lot of the videos show security guards, staff at the movie theater trying to chase them down. Because it's pretty obvious if you just start trying to walk out the door with a massive cutout of Freddy Fazbear, whoever it is.
Right.
This is, I think, good marketing. A good ad.
That's what
for a movie that needs it.
That's what a lot of people have been saying. I mean, it was the #1 movie over the weekend, so I feel like it made more than I thought it was going to make. But it might have a big drop off because the reviews are not good for this movie. But I agree. A lot of people in the comments of these videos are mentioning like this is a better ad campaign than anything else that was come up. You know, for Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Because first of all, it shows you for free that the movie is even out and out there. But also, like between this and a Minecraft movie.
I was just thinking that.
Something that's going on Burger King right now with the McDonald's SpongeBob meal, where it turns it into more than just going to see a movie. It's an experience.
It's an event.
Yeah, so even if the movie sucks like a Minecraft movie did, it's still a part of the experience.
Yep.
And so that's what this is too. Now, what I want to know is, why do these experiences always have to involve torturing minimum wage workers?
Oh, it's true. Although not all of them do, because I think this like experience-driven movie thing really started with Barbenheimer. You remember how big that was? That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody was showing up when they would go see Barbenheimer. It'd be like, you wore black to see Oppenheimer. You wore pink to see Barbie. Or maybe you would do a quick outfit switch and you'd go see both movies on the same day.
I remember for the Minions movie when people were dressing up in like almost tuxedos, like black tie to see the Minions movies.
I don't remember that, but that's awesome.
I'm trying to remember that came before Barbenheimer.
It might have.
But either way, I was definitely right along the same lines. So
yeah.
I guess they don't all completely involve torturing workers, but I mean, I was watching videos earlier today too of people going to Burger King for the SpongeBob meal, like we did. You can watch that food fight on the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel, where they're like playing the SpongeBob, all kinds of SpongeBob stuff in the drive-thru.
Oh no!
And the workers every time, it's without fail, they just wait for it to stop and they go, "So you want the Krabby Patty meal?"
Oh, those poor workers.
But they just have to sit there and endure it. And like me watching this, or people stealing the Five Nights at Freddy's cutouts or whatever, the Minecraft videos where there was people bringing chickens in, getting on each other's shoulders, throwing popcorn everywhere.
Pure chaos.
As an innocent bystander, it's hilarious. And as the people that are like doing this, it's content and it's fun. But then you think of the person on the other end that has to deal with all of this. And yet again, it always seems to be a minimum wage worker. And I'm just like, I do feel bad for you.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for this.
They didn't. They didn't.
I guess hopefully for Five Nights at Freddy's and for just movie theaters, like they need this. They need this business. This is what they have to put up with.
They do. I just hope it doesn't take thievery and vandalism to get them to better business. That doesn't seem to be a great plan.
I think they'll take it. Hey, some might consider the prices for popcorn thievery and vandalism. Congratulations are in order to John Allen Hale, who just rode the Disneyland California Adventure Radiator Springs Racers Cars ride for the 15,000th time.
Whoa.
Since it opened in 2012, so in the last 13 years, he has ridden it 15,000 times.
That's a lot to ride one ride. So how often is he showing up to Disneyland?
I don't know how frequently he actually goes, but it does say that every time he goes, he will do about 13 rides per visit.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this guy isn't he's not a little kid.
No.
It's a grown adult.
He's a grown man that looks very similar to the My Pillow guy.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
good
it's
comparison.
just the mustache, but
yeah.
he does.
So I don't think anyone would interpret this as creepy, but I mean, some could if it's the same mustache man coming back to ride a kiddie ride 13 times.
I mean, all the employees know him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Eventually, I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah.
And was cute.
But at what point, a lot of questions, at what point along the journey to 15,000 rides on the Cars ride at Disneyland did any of the employees go like, this guy, why is he always, like, have we seen him before?
Yeah.
And at what point did he maybe start to question if he wasted some of his life? You think all the time waiting in line,
Right.
he must have spent?
So much time.
Yeah, that's probably even worse than actually riding the ride itself. So impressive, I suppose, in many ways, but also, is it sad? Is that the right word? I mean, he looks happy.
I don't think it's sad. I just think it's like, every day I'm a little bit more and more surprised by things I see that people spend a lot of time doing and dedicate a lot of time to. It's not a bad thing. At least he's not doing a crime. He's not doing anything wrong. It's just, it's a
He's
surprise.
not hurting anybody.
It's not hurting anyone.
He's having fun.
He's having a good time. There's no harm in this. But again, is it a surprise to me that someone would spend this amount of time to ride one ride? A little bit. I'd much prefer to see somebody probably do this where they try and ride like every roller coaster in the United States or something like that.
But to each their own. He says, he's ridden it 15,000 times. He says he keeps a detailed log because it's like a racing, cars.
Okay.
And they race the different cars you can be in.
So different cars win each time.
And so he says that he keeps track of all the different variables for when he races, which colors win or lose, which lane, blah, blah, blah. He says there's no rhyme or reason. So it's a different ride every time. It's always an adventure.
It's a little bit more random. Okay,
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me. If you were just riding the same roller coaster 15,000 times and it was like the same speed, same result every single time, then that would get really boring. But this makes a little bit more sense where the outcome is different.
He never truly knows. And he's ridden it 15,000 times. He says there's no pattern.
Right. If he doesn't know, and he's obviously the person that's ridden it the most, then I think that can tell you for certain that this ride is truly random.
Maybe there's a lesson we can learn here.
What?
Sometimes life feels repetitive and boring and like you're doing the same thing when you wake up every single day. But if you think closely about it, every day is a new adventure.
Yeah, just keep detailed notes like this guy.
Yeah, that's the secret. A feast, a party at a South Carolina prison for the inmates was stopped recently. 8772 RadioU. Guards intercepted a drone with steak, crab legs, weed, and cigarettes, even Old Bay seasoning that was meant for prisoners, for inmates there to presumably enjoy. First of all, I don't even understand how you use a drone to smuggle all that into prison. Like, how do you bake a drone into a cake?
Yeah, right. How's the drone getting in? Clearly, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to pull that off. But all of these, the items all made it in to the prison. I guess I was joking, of course. The drone dropped these into the prison yard somewhere.
Okay.
And, but it was intercepted before any prisoners could partake, could enjoy. And so I guess does this mean the guards get to enjoy now a feast of steak and crab legs?
I doubt it.
What happens to this stuff?
I probably gets thrown away. Like, I don't know what you would do with it.
You're going to throw those crab legs to waste?
I mean, I feel like the food for sure needs to be thrown away. The weed probably needs to be turned into evidence somewhere with like the local police department. I don't know about what they'll do with the cigarettes and with...
What about the Old Bay?
Yeah, the Old Bay seasoning, that could still work.
Yeah.
That's not going to go bad anytime soon.
Send that my way. I have a giant canister at home. I don't need it, but
or give it to the cook in the prison cafeteria.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Exactly. Are prisoners allowed to have that could just be a treat for everybody there.
Yeah.
I do feel...
Also, that steak looks in really bad shape. I don't think you should eat that.
Well, it's been flying on a drone.
And also been dropped on the ground.
Yeah. I do feel, like it's Christmas time. I like to think that whoever did this, it wasn't like somebody trying to smuggle stuff like some kind of, like they had a deal with somebody on the inside. I like to think it was just like somebody was trying to do something nice. You know what I mean?
They're like, hey, we're just going to put all this stuff together and drop it off.
Like this was Operation like Christmas Child, but for prisoners, where they're just like, how can we...
This is a care package.
Yeah, exactly. How can we brighten the prisoner's day? I don't know who to talk to at the jail, so how about I'll just load up a drone.
I don't think if you talk to somebody at the jail, they would allow you to bring in weed.
Exactly.
And
so
cigarettes.
It's like, how are we supposed to do this? Like, they deserve a Christmas feast too. Just because they're prisoners, one nice meal a year. They're still humans.
Yeah.
They're still people.
Yeah.
Let them have some steak. I hope that's what was going through whoever's mind that did this.
More than likely not.
Probably not.
Yeah. That's a good way to think about it, I suppose.
But that is, it's just, it feels better when somebody does something wrong. This could get, ironically, whoever did this, I don't know if they know or have any idea who the perpetrator would be.
Yeah.
But just simply flying a drone near a prison is a pretty substantial crime. And I believe that you could, here it says, dropping contraband into the prison could land someone in jail for over 10 years.
I mean, they probably have cameras all around.
Mm-hmm.
And drones, I don't really know drones very well, but most drones, I feel like you need to be somewhat nearby to be operating this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also to be able to have visual of where to drop it and all of that. So, they could have very easily caught this person on camera.
Yeah.
They just have to scrub through the footage.
Now there was like weed and cigarettes in there. I was just like, what if it was just steak and crab legs,
then just
they probably would have gone easy on it.
Yeah,
they probably would have gone easy on it.
Let them get away with it. But the fact that they tried to smuggle in drugs, probably not a great look.
Unfortunately for them, they probably didn't even know what they were getting into. They thought they were just being nice. Even if they were if it was an inside, if they were talking to somebody on this, they still probably thought they were just being nice. They were like, I'm doing a crime. I hope I get away with it. I love the little reminders that celebrities are just like us. Like this video of Joe Jonas struggling to parallel park for an uncomfortable amount of time in New York City.
Yes.
I don't know if the person who filmed it is actually being accurate or exaggerating, but they say it took him 7 minutes with him just inching back and forth. Even the short little clip they posted is just like, if I was Joe Jonas, I would have bailed way before.
Yeah, I would have bailed at the thought of parallel parking. Now, is it New York City?
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a standard thing you need to be able to do when you're in a city. You have to be able to parallel park.
If I ever get an opportunity in New York City, if we move the radio studios there, I'm giving up all cars.
Well, I think
I will Uber forever.
That's what most people do. But if you have to drive a car, the parking available to you is parallel parking. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Why can't Joe Jonas afford to just Uber everywhere? Doesn't he have a driver that, he's Joe Jonas?
I think he's going to be doing that from now on.
Yeah.
This is a pretty embarrassing thing. The best part about this is this TikTok was posted. It has millions of views now. And Joe Jonas commented on it.
Yeah. And he had fun with it. He's like, didn't you watch me for this whole time and not offer to help?
You didn't help me one time.
Yeah, not offer to help one time. That makes it fun.
Yes.
But
I'm glad the best thing to have, the best feature in life to have is the ability to laugh at yourself. Mm-hmm. Because if he came on the comments, it was all like being a little baby because somebody, recorded him failing at parallel parking, then it would be, it would make him unlikable. But because you can laugh at yourself in a moment like this, it's like, okay, that makes him even more likable to me.
I also like the person on Twitter that goes, he's just like me, except I would cry.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I would be doing. I'd be bawling my eyes out that I cannot parallel park, which again is why I would not, if that's the option, I'm not doing it. I'm not driving.
Exactly. Yeah. There's other things you can do. And I would never put myself in a situation where it's parallel park or nothing. Even though I don't think I'm that bad at it.
Should we tell the story? The story? You know which one I'm talking about?
He's not even here this week, so yeah.
So for my birthday lunch, we had to go into a downtown area of where the RadioU studio is. And we were all riding in our RadioU Jeep. Mm-hmm. And Nene was driving. He agreed to drive without knowing that parallel parking was in the cards for this lunch.
What's funny is it wasn't required at all.
No,
he could have just gone around the corner.
Yeah, there were parking lots available, but he decided to parallel park. And it took an uncomfortable amount of time. And I felt really bad.
Fortunately for him, nobody was filming that.
Yeah.
But I agree. I just kept my mouth shut because I was like, if this was me driving, I wouldn't want any comments from the passengers. But I also would have just given up.
I would have given up.
He stuck with it. He committed. He committed.
He finished it out
on a busy street.
It was impressive.
It's Would You Rather Wednesday. Our question is, would you rather be an anonymous cornhole champion? Like you won one time, but nobody knows at all, because why would anybody know cornhole champions? Or would you rather be famous, but for being a runner-up and a failure at dodgeball? Even though you got all the way to the finals, you still failed in a spectacular way, and everybody knows you because of it. We already got some people texting in at 8772 Radio U. Trey says, cornhole, I'd be able to show off my skills once a year. Also, I assume being a ghost champion comes with some money. I said, Trey, I don't know how lucrative being a cornhole champion is.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We also heard from Regina. She said, dodgeball, it's more of a fun sport, and I could have a small ball on hand in case I need to playfully nail a heckler.
There you go. Take them down. Use your skills to take them down. Brianna simply said, anonymous cornhole champion.
All right.
No reasoning given. Just simple as that.
Simple as that. We heard from William. He said, I would rather be anonymous cornhole champ because at least I know I'm good. Also, my workplace has a cornhole tournament every year. And even though I have never won, I could finally be the underdog that nobody expected to win.
You could be like a hustler at cornhole. That could be fun. Lisa says, cornhole, I don't want to be humiliated every time I go out by people saying stuff or making fun of me.
We heard from Max. He says, I'm going with cornhole. One leg and dodgeball doesn't sound too fun. Yeah, he says it actually sounds like the beginning of a good joke. Did you hear about the one-legged dodgeball player? He's hopping mad because he always loses.
Well, it'd be less surface area for you to get hit. Susanna says, I don't really want either of those, but I do enjoy secret accomplishments, so I choose cornhole.
Chad just says, cornhole, absolutely. I just love the game, period. I know a lot of
a cornhole fan.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's a dad sport. Like a dad sport at barbecues, the dads just love playing it, and they're all like weirdly good at it. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Dads just have like spatial awareness that's just better than everyone else.
I think because it's not that hard.
Well, I am not very good at it, so I don't appreciate you saying that.
So which one would you choose then?
I would choose the cornhole because I'm not very good at it, so I'd much prefer to be better at it. And even though no one would know, it would be, as William said, kind of a fun thing to pull out at the family barbecue. Yeah. And just beat everybody.
I would prefer to be the dodgeball one, the dodgeball failure, because Lisa said you don't want to be made fun of. I think, especially at something like dodgeball, you'd be like, if you're famous, you'd be kind of a lovable loser for it. You know what I mean?
Is
like,
White Goodman a lovable loser?
No, that's his personality, though. And maybe my personality is very similar to White Goodman's. But I still feel like I would, it would be, people might make fun of you, but it'd be all in fun. And it'd be fun to be famous. Like,
That's fair.
What good would it do me to be a cornhole champion if nobody knew? I feel like that would torture me.
Oh, yeah.
Is what
You'd
I
be
think.
like, I need credit.
Yeah, like I would just. I feel like you'd have a chip on your shoulder because you're so good and nobody knows.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked dodgeball.
But maybe that cornhole chip could drive you to great things in life.
It could lead me to other accomplishments that have nothing to do with cornhole.
Yes, because you're constantly trying to prove yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Hudson, I finally watched Home Alone for the Christmas season.
Finally, I usually save it for like right before Christmas. That's some of the best ones you save.
I feel like Home Alone is one of those great Christmas movies, honestly, the first and second one, that you can rewatch multiple times in one Christmas, season. Because it holds up so well.
It is that good. But also, there's so many Christmas movies that I want to get to and on so little time. I don't have time to watch the same one twice.
Yeah, there are a lot of Christmas movies. But I finally watched it, and this is usually later than I normally would have already seen it. But I finally watched it a couple days ago, and something kind of stood out to me. And I saw somebody else cover this in a video recently, how much Old Man Marley is kind of like a mirror of Jesus.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed this?
That's the guy with the shovel, right?
That's the guy with the shovel.
I thought he was like grown-up Kevin.
Maybe. He's kind of misunderstood at first. There's this fear storyline of he's allegedly, according to Buzz, the South Bend shovel slayer.
Yeah.
This serial killer, whatever. But what we see, the first sighting we see of Old Man Marley, what's he doing?
Shoveling.
He's salting. He's salting the earth. Oh, what's that mean? What's that? A little bit of a potential parallel there. And then also, when's another opportunity when we see Old Man Marley? We see him in the store with Kevin when he's trying to buy the toothbrush, right? And what does Old Man Marley do in that scene? He puts his hand up on the cash register counter, and in his hand, it's been completely pierced through on both sides.
I didn't remember that.
They show it to you. He's got the little bandage, and it's been pierced through, which is supposed to scare Kevin because he's already scared of him, and now he's like, oh no, what happened to his hand?
Yeah.
Is he like is he a serial killer? And so that could be another parallel. And then where do we see Old Man Marley again? We see him in the church in a moment of crisis for Kevin, and he kind of offers him a little bit of insight where we see Kevin kind of gets this courage and forgiveness, and also inspires Marley to kind of, have reconcile with his estranged son. And so it's a very inspirational moment that takes place in that church. And if you notice, when Kevin walks into that church, one of the songs they're singing is an old Christmas carol. And literally the lyrics he's hearing at that time are fall on your knees and, hear the angels singing and all of that. And so it's kind of fun to see all of these different parallels. I have no idea if Chris Columbus was going after this storyline, but I like to pull some of those parallels out and think about it. One thing that I like to think of is the Christmas season obviously is about Jesus. We've talked about this. But also, I think this shows you that there's such a great story that happens there with redemption, because he's revealed first as this character that you kind of fear. And you're like, oh no, who is he? There's a lot of mystery. He's a serial killer. What's going on? And then he ends up saving Kevin when he's literally about to be killed by the wet bandits. And he shows up and saves him in the last minute.
Spoiler alert.
Right. If you haven't seen it, sorry. But it was a cool, reconciliation. And at the very end, you get to see he's hugging his granddaughter. He's back together with his family. And so it's a beautiful story and moment that's just like a side plot, a part of Home Alone.
Yeah. And so I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'd like that's a good theory.
There's so many theories tied to Home Alone. I know we've already talked about front door Santa theory and all of those, but I thought this was a really cool one. And again, even if it's not meant to be a mirror of Jesus, I think it's clearly a story of redemption, forgiveness, reconciliation, which are things that we can all get behind during the Christmas season.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to think about, that when just as the old man in the movie doesn't, like he's separated from his son.
Yeah.
And still wants to, have a relationship with him, but things went sideways and he's sitting there thinking like, and Kevin has to convince him to talk to his son.
Yeah.
That might be how we feel too, of where you feel like you've gone through so much, or you've been, you've done things that maybe make it so that God wouldn't want to, talk to you or be a part of your life. And you don't have to feel that way. Just reach out. Just see what happens. Just make the call.
Right.
Or in this case, just start talking to God. Open up the line of communication. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. But something's going to happen.
Something is definitely going to happen if you decide to give God a chance.
Find that forgiveness and find that change in your life. Jesus is there. You want to know more? RadioU.com/free gift has more info.
Thanks for listening to the Radio U podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.